Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day, everybody. The JMH guy here. Just here to go on a bit of another little mini cruise. It's incredibly beautiful out today. What I want to talk about today is my number one favorite BMW of all time, which coincidentally is also the one I would buy if I had the funds. There's so many different BMWs out there and so many advantages, disadvantages to each of them. But I'm here to tell you today which one is my number one. If I had to live with one for the rest of my life, this is what it would be. So sit back, get popcorn or ice cream or whichever, and enjoy the ride. Okay, now that we're on the road, so what are things that make up BMW in general? For a while, it was definitely styling, handling, power, feel, connectivity, soul, etc. What makes a really, really special BMW, in my opinion, is one that gives you a sensation of driving that no other vehicle does in general, but not just that, but special versus the rest of the Beamers. So that encompasses a wide variety depending on preference. So that's why my choice is going to be very subjective. My choice, for multiple reasons, would be the E60 BMW M5 sedan. The S85 naturally aspirated V10 in that thing is unlike anything else, and we'll never get another V10 naturally aspirated or not in a passenger vehicle like that ever again. It was the beginning and the end of an era at the same time, like the Formula One technology. And here's the thing, it also is regardless of what your viewpoints on the SMG versus the 6-speed manual are. Quite frankly, I would be happy with either or, because you're never, like, the sound of that V10 driving to, if I remember, like 8,500 RPM, or just incredible. I'm probably wrong on that stat, which I'll be corrected. But sorry for the shakiness. Really bad roads here. Now, the thing is, even with it feels, it's interesting because the SMG, there's so much controversy over it, and in my short brief time, I like it because it gives an old school, yeah, sure, it's clunky, it's slow, whatever, I could care less. It's a V10 E60 M5. Enough said. Whether you get it in manual or not, here's the thing, if I bought it, I would probably keep it for life. I mean, I would put like an Eisenman race exhaust on it. I would put so much. I'd probably lower it a little bit. If I had the money, maybe even go G-Power, the Hurricane M5. It's so incredibly famous and unique. So, another thing. I know a lot of people, fairly enough, will prefer the E90, E92 M3, E46 M3, E30 M3, and everything. But the thing for me is that the E60 M5, I always loved the 5 Series in general because it was not too big like the 7. It was larger and more comfortable than the 3 Series. And the thing is, for me, it just does everything. I mean, this is going to sound really like a crazy example, but heck, throw in the manual one for this metaphor, really stretching it, but it's in a very, very distant way. It's like a 4-door Porsche Carrera GT. High revving V10. You have that manual option, rear wheel drive, in the incredible tech at its time, and the fact that it came out a similar time, although the Carrera GT was in development for much longer, says quite a bit. So with that said, the it's just such a unique feel. And when I edit this, you'll see some screenshots of some that I've seen and experienced. The sound of it, the feel, the comfort, the seats. Friend's dad actually took me on a test drive because, as I mentioned in previous videos, I was looking at getting one for a while. Back in 2016, if I remember. So, oh my goodness, almost 5 years ago. This is before I decided to put my money towards house down payment / education and everything. But like, I just got addicted to the sound of it, the exhaust note, the feel of it. It's as high tech as it is, and yes, it's got the Bengal butt, but I think the body style's aged very well. If you think about it, I can't believe it's over 15 years old for a 2006 model year, of course. It's just a shame because we'll never get something like that ever again. Like the F10 M5 that came out after, then the F90. The F90 was a huge upgrade over the F10, but the F10 was such a departure from the E60, and they're so different. Yes, they are M5 DNA, but the E60, it's the mid-2000s in general, like just to have an offshoot point, was a golden era of many vehicles. Like, I mean, everything. The Enzo, the SLR, the 599, the Carrera GT for supercars, the Veyron for hypercars, the E60 M5, the B6 S6 V10 Audi sedan, as well as the S8 V10 and more, both in design, style, sense, and everything. It was a golden era. So here's the other catch. Prices have they dipped as low as like the low 10s and mid 10s thousands Canadian that I noticed a few years ago, and I highly doubt they're ever going to go back there for a while again, retail at least. That said, average prices are like on the low note, the high 10s still, to the 20s, 30s, even 40s, regardless of SMG or manual. Of course, lower mileage, they can go higher, 50, 60. It's all over the place. But once again, it's worth as much as someone's willing to pay for it. But I think if I could find one for under 30, a decent weather SMG or high mileage manual, quite frankly, doesn't matter. I would love to have both, to be honest. And then like mod one, keep the other stock, whatever mix between the two. Just because it'd be really, really cool. Best of both worlds. Like, it's just something about it. And when I said earlier in this video, I'd probably keep for the rest of my life, if not both of them, I would. The electrification era is here, even with hydrogen. Regardless, there's never going to be another vehicle like it ever again. I mean, I hope I'm proven wrong, but it's just such a unique platform, experience, the soul, and more. It's just the one vehicle that, like, I could almost essentially forgo ever owning a supercar and just have that. If I was to have the one vehicle to pretty much do it all, subject to anything, a truck or an SUV, which for me would be a Cayenne Turbo or a F-150 Raptor, it'd be the E60 M5. I could keep it and have fun and bring the family in it. It can keep up with majority of the supercars, even today's standards. It's still incredibly, like, powerful. It accelerates like nothing. Even in today's standards, being naturally aspirated, especially with all the turbocharging and post-supercharging, etc.